Hello guys, in today's video we are going to talk about Angular interceptors. What are actually interceptors do in Angular? Let's say that we have some kind of request, actually some HTTP request, and we would like to intercept that request and attach or detach some data from the request. So for that purposes we would need Angular interceptor. So today we are going to create an interceptor, actually JWT Interceptor, that is going to be attached to every single HTTP request. So for example, when we want to authorize some request, we would like to add some JWT to that request. So that interceptor, our interceptor is going to do exactly that. So let's start creating it. Here I have this basic Angular structure that I created by typing ng new and the name of our project, in this case JWT Interceptor. So here in our app folder, I'm going to create a new, let's say, new folder here and call it core. If you are not familiar with the structure I use usually, there is a link to a video where I show you exactly the structure I use most of the time. So I'm creating core here, and in this core folder I'll create a new folder called interceptors, and in that interceptors I'll generate a new interceptor, another schematic interceptor. What I actually use here is I'm just using Angular schematics extension here, and that is creating and actually typing a command for me in the terminal. So creating an interceptor here and call it JWT. Hit enter, confirm. So this extension just did this: ngg interceptor core interceptors JWT. So if you don't have this extension or you are not going to install it, you can just type this in your terminal, and that's it. So after doing this, we have this interceptor here. So this is a basic interceptor, and what we have to do right now here, I'm going to add a service here. First of all, a service, and I'll add it here. Also a new folder called services, and into that services I'll generate a new service called user service. Confirm, and that's it. Now we have user service. Usually I use this user service to do some things with current user. For example, get JWT for current user, get roles or anything about the user. For this tutorial, I'm going just to add some things here. For example, we will simulate that we are getting some JWT and adding or removing tokens from local storage. So this is just for the purpose of this tutorial. It's not what I actually do exactly, but you'll get a point. So I'm going to create a function here, get token, and we'll actually just say okay const, or we can just return local storage, get item name token, and that's it. We're just basically getting token from local storage. Also, as we did this, we could set token here, set token, and we are going to remove item, remove token, and we just have to set token, and we'll say our test JWT token, and that's it. So these three methods here are just setting and removing the data from the local storage, but usually you do that with things from your API, for example, getting the exact token after registering, and so on and so on. So this is just for the interceptor here. And in our JWT interceptor, I'm going to add in constructor private private, and let's say user service, and call it user service. And now I'm getting that user service that we all just created here. And the next things here, as we are intercepting a request here, which is a HTTP request, and we're doing the following in this intercept function. I'll say token, const token equals to this user service that we call here, and I'll just say get token. And now we're getting that token from the user service. So in this interceptor, we don't care about how is this user service getting the token or doing anything, but we are just getting that token and doing some checks here. And let's say if we have that token in our local storage, we will do the following. Let's say that we have a const request with request with token. This is just constant, where we are doing the following: a request, getting this request here in case that we have this token, getting this request here, and now clone, as we are cloning that request, and doing the following. We'll use headers, and we'll say new HTTP headers, and add authorization. Authorization, as this is object, we are adding authorization as an object key, and we'll say as regularly that you know that authorization starts with beer, and we'll just call here our token, and that's it. And also what we can do here is also we can add content type, for example, content type, and name it application JS. Okay, this is what we do. And now just be aware that these are backticks here, and you have to do this exactly as I did it here. And if this is exactly what it if this passes this condition, we'll return next and handle our request with token. So this, otherwise we'll just remove make a request without our token here. So this is basically it when it comes to this interceptor here. So we're going to save this, and now what we have to do, we have to go to our app module, and here in our providers, we have to add another object here as a provider, and in that object we'll say provide, and we're providing HTTP interceptors, and let's see, okay, it's called here, and use class, and this use class is using our interceptor, JWT Interceptor. Okay, and now the one thing that we have to add here is multi, and set it to true. And what does this mean? Actually, as HTTP interceptors are HTTP interceptors is actually a token for a multi-provider that injects an array of values rather than a single value. We have to add this multi to true, otherwise our application is not gonna work. So we cannot omit this this value here, or we cannot set it to false. So it has to be like this. Save it. And also, as we are going to work with the HTTP client here to do some calls, HTTP requests, we have to import also HTTP client module here. Okay, this is it, and everything is here going from HTTP. hit save, and that's it. Now we are going to our component here, and also I'm going to create another folder here in our application, not in core, and I'll call it HTTP. This is going to be just like for my HTTP requests here, a folder. So I'm going to add, let's say, API. I'll create another service here for requesting APIs. So actually for calling API, and I'll call it, let's say, API. Confirm, and it is created here and called API service. So okay, and I'm going to that API service here, and I'll do the following. In this constructor here, I'll have to call HTTP. That is going to be HTTP client. HTTP client here, and what I have actually have to do right now is I have to create a method to get something from some API. In this case, I'm going to use JSON placeholder here, and you'll find it on this address. Let me open. Okay. Okay, this is JSON placeholder.typecode.com. Okay, and this is some fake data that we can use here. In this case, I'm gonna use this here, for example, to-dos. So there's a lot of more things that you can see, like posts and to-dos or anything, just to test the data for your API. So after I click this, I'm going back, sorry, to the service here, and now I'm creating a method get_to_do, and I'll provide an ID here, ID that is type number, and it is going to be observable, return observable. There's going to be a type of to-do, as we are getting that to-do here, and now I also have to create, after doing this, I'll create a modal here, or actually right now, just create a new folder here, modals, and now I'll create a new file and call it todo.ts, and here we are creating our interfaces, export interface, called to-do, and call it like this. Sorry, it has to be like this, interface to-do, and I'll add the following from this API. So run script, and I can see here that we have these values. All right, now, oops, I have to go back to my code here, and I'll paste this and just remove these. Okay, and user ID is type number, ID is also type number, and title is string, and completed is boolean. Okay, this is our interface that we'll use in our application here for calling that API service. And now I'm going to call this for modals. Okay, and here we also have things import observable. Okay, let me see where's observable. Why is not going like that? Observable from ArcGIS. Okay, and now let me see. We have to return something. Return this HTTP from here, as we are using that HTTP client, get, and response is going to be also of to-do, type of to-do, and now we're going to just copy this address Let's copy this address here. Okay, here, and go back to our API service, place it here. Okay. Also, I'm going to add backtick here because I would like to add this ID here as well. So to do that, I'll just type $, curly braces, and paste this ID here. So this is basically it from this API service. Save it, and that's it. Now in our to-do application, actually app component here, let's go to here. Okay, first of all, I'll remove everything from this app component HTML, just because we are testing this, and I'll use this app component without creating any other new components here. So here I'll just add h2 and call it JWT Interceptor test. Okay, now I'm going to our JWT app component here. That we don't need this title right now. And what am I going to do is to create a variable to do, which is type to do, that we're going to import from module. And also I'm going to add some default values here. User ID, let's say it's 0, and let's ID is 0, and let's see title is empty string, and also so let's say false. So that's it. We have created this variable here, and we have assigned default values here. Okay. Now what you have to do is to add a constructor here, and we'll add our API service. To do that, we'll call private API and API service that we created there. So that's it. And also we will need a user service. Is going to be our user service, and that's it. First of all, we would need this API service to call our API to request something, and also we would need the user service to set token and remove token to be able to test these cases where we have or we don't have a token in our request. Okay, now here I'll add some methods here. Let's say get to do, and this get to do is going to do the following. This API get to do, and let's say that to do requests a number. Let's say that we want to do with the number ID 2, and we're going to subscribe. As this is observable, we are subscribing to it. And now what we're getting is data, and this data, this to do is going to be equal data. As this is a single item, not a list, we're just getting data. We're going to get this data and to assign it to our to do here. So this is it. And also I will add set token here as well, and we'll just call this method from our user service get token, actually set token, and also I'll duplicate this one, remove token, and here remove token. Okay, and now in our component here, I'm going to add these buttons here to make requests here, to get to do's, to set token, or to remove token. Here, let's say button, and we'll call it get to do, and another one is going to be, okay, I have to show you something here with this. We could add this faster. Let's say, just sorry, as I'm using emmet here, I'll just add button times 3 and hit tab, and I'll get 3 times button, and I'll keep working as this. I'll type get to do, tab, set token, tab, remove token, and that's it. This is it. Okay, I'll just split this. Okay, and now I have to add actions here. So on click equals and get to do. So this is going to get our to do, and also another one equals set token, and also a one here to remove that token, remove token here. Okay, and also what we have to do here, I would like to see that title of that to do that we called. So I would add it like here. Okay, h3, let's say to do title. I hope we have it. That's the right name. Okay, to do title. Let's hit save, and now I'm opening a terminal and doing the following: ng s as a serve, and I would add a flag here, open. That means when this ng CLI compiles it, it will open it automatically in our default browser, so we don't have to wait for anything here. So it's not right now generating, and it will be available in a few seconds here. Okay, and now we have these here that we created. So we have to do set token, remove token, and now I'm going to open inspector here, and in this inspector I'll just zoom it a bit here, and in this inspector, in the application here, first of all we have token, which is test token. So I'm going to remove this token. Okay, we don't have this token at all here. Now in this I have this token because I tested this previously, so do not be confused. Right now when we want to call this network to get to do, so we have this getting this to do with ID 2, and in request headers here we don't see any kind of bearer set and authorization and application type that we set here. Let me open it. Okay, here as you can see we are setting authorization and we're setting content type. As we don't have our token there, we are not setting these headers. So basically this JWT Interceptor is doing nothing right now. And here, when I set token, we can see that we have our test JWT token. And now in the networks tab, I'm going to get to do. Okay, we get it again. And now, as you can see, we have authorization here and plus our test JWT token, and also content type here, application JSON/JSON. Okay, and now if I remove this token and get to do again, take a look at this here, we don't have it. So we can prove that our interceptor is doing a job correctly and as expected. So this is basically it when it comes to JWT Interceptor here. So you could see how to add JWT Interceptor here and how to call it in your application or app module here. So in the next video, or some of the next videos, I'm going to create an interceptor to intercept something like error handler to intercept error requests and to provide some message or alert or anything to a user. So if you enjoyed this video, please do like or subscribe, and you'll be able to get a notification when I actually publish a next video about Angular or any other web development tutorial. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye.